this time, this time with a couple of observations, a couple of what am I trying to say? Alterations. First, I noticed something which I hadn't noticed before. When I had, by the way, the noises you'll make. Good day, sir.
How you doing?
You'll be, by the way, wonderful, wonderful individuals here at the park service. Great people, keeping the park safe. The last time I was in a park alone was, I think, never. Never. With my wife. But I wanted to I don't know why I was out doing a few things. I thought, you know what, this is interesting. And by the way, as I mentioned before, my great friend, who was so terrific, Anthony Cumia, stopped the other day when he was walking and he was giving this gig young dissertation, which I thought, how fascinating. And then just now on the way over, I was doing a few little errands here and there, and I stopped and I noticed that the way I was shooting it, the angle was terrific, where you had great shot up my nose and wonderful looks of platysmal dehiscence. Anybody know what that is? That's this stuff. When sometimes when you get older, you get these lines, and then sometimes your skin just drops. It disadheres. It loses any kind of connection. It becomes dehiscent to the platysma, which is this groove, a piece of muscle here. So you get these lines and nose hair and up, and it's just really unattractive, which I'm going to do again, by the way, because I think one of the best ways to ensure that what you're saying makes sense is to provide that you're in the most unattractive of positions, so that people will, watch. Because after all, if they have to endure your horror, what you're saying must be worthy of something. Look at this. I'm reading this. People are saying wonderful things. It's absolutely, and it is such a beautiful day in New York City. Absolutely brilliant. It's beautiful. So I wanted to mention a couple of things to you. First of all, I feel so stupid. I used to do more of this on a regular basis. Look at this. Let me give you a little bit of a kind of a view here. Look at this, how these wonderful, see the birds, there's people in, there's all kinds of activities and people are playing. There's always games of some sort or another. This is just wonderful. Look at this, people oversee. In the background is, of course, the Hudson River. And you see just a variety of just wonderful, little dog park here. You can see this. Over here is where the Daily Show is. There's a tribute to a man, World War I, apparently. The Daily Show will actually have people. By the way, this welding place has been there since the beginning of time. So I wanted to just give you an update. Thank you very much. Oh, look, there's Carla. Carla, we've wondered where you were. Yes, it's nicer to see you outdoors. For reasons I shan't understand why I have not done this in a while. Again, it was Anthony who inspired me. And I would love to be able to read more of what you're saying, but I can't. I don't like getting old. Is that where you are now? I can't read. I'm sorry, my reading, my glass. I've got to do one of these. I'm nearsighted, so I take my glasses off to read, and in any event, I don't do this. By the way, somebody mentioned getting old. I do. I mean, I guess chronologically, certainly yes, but I am not in the least bit interested in chronicling every little thing that changes. Skin changes, gravity changes, things change. Skin disadheses. I've kind of understood that. It's like when you're a kid, when you're an infant, you grow, pubescence kicks in. It's a part of the cycle of life. So I'm not one of those. I embrace it. I don't go out of my way to what am I trying to say? I can't read what this says. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. It says, Carla says, getting married in 8 days. Hey, congratulations. Oh, mazel tov. Good for you. I'm going to tell Mrs. O. Hope she sees this. Nothing, I wish you nothing but happiness and a tenth of what I have with my wife. And I'm not saying that to be gratuitous. I mean it. I am such a fan of this, of marriage to the right person. It's a wonderful compliment. They are chiral, meaning that it's almost like mirror images. If you put your hands are mirror images. They don't fit on top of each other. They're chiral, chirality. We learned that in organic chemistry, radioisomers, and that sort of thing. So that's terrific. That is so wonderful. Again, I'm going to try. I'm going to really try. Let me see if I can read some of these. Who's the lucky guy? I think you should be asking Carla. I don't have a lucky guy. I don't know what you think I am. Oh, Carla. Yes. This is wonderful. I wish I was anywhere. This is terrific. I wish I was in Hawaii. Hawaii, fine. How are you? This is so terrific. We have to, we need to do, Carla, we need to have some kind of a party. I don't know how we would do this, but we need to have something. I just as a note, I think people, this may sound, again, also gratuitous, I think it's better if you marry older. Now, I don't know about your situation, I don't know about your age or anything like that, but I think sometimes when certain young people, not all, but certain people, they get married a little too early, and they're not really ready yet. Because what I might find at my level of senescence, what I might find to be, what's the word, calming and stable and wonderful, that might bore the shit out of some, 25-year-old. So I think you got to figure out what it is. But remember one thing, make sure you pick your best friend. Somebody you want to be with more than anybody else, somebody that you would rather do nothing with, somebody you want to go to Costco with, somebody you want to sit around and watch stupid movies, somebody who just, you don't need me to lecture. I think you know all about that. There are also some things too which people have to understand later on that, and I'm sorry, but I think you know this. You're also living with somebody. By the by, they have these, I don't want to take pictures of people, I don't want to show you, I think people should appreciate their privacy. But there are these girls' softball teams that show up in the afternoon, and Mrs. Ellen and I watch them sometimes. They're incredible. I don't know where this fairer sex business comes from. And by the way, this park is always packed, almost 24 hours a day, irrespective of the weather and whatever. In any event, I have no idea what I was saying. It was profound. It was very deep. I don't recall what it was. It was terrific being your friend. Something along those lines. I commented today that, and I used to say this as a bit of a joke, but I mean it sincerely. There are, when I took driver's ed when I was 16, at the end, I went to Safeway driving school in Tampa. This guy, Jack Baldwin, was our teacher. He drove the car that had the brakes on his side of the car, which is very unnerving. First time I ever drove, he took me to Malfunction Junction at rush hour, and I thought, this is not going to end pretty. But at the end of the course, he showed us this thing called Blood on the Highway, or these black and white compilations of disasters. And I think they should really show, and I'm not kidding you, but for younger people especially, trips to family court to see what divorce is, to see what custody is, to see what the separation of property is. I mean it. If you don't understand what divorce is, I know I'm emphasizing this too much, but I always told people you don't know what being married is unless you get a divorce. When you get divorced, and I've seen this, then you undo that which was done. I'm going to leave it at that. Let me see if I can read some of your incredible comments. Awesome weather, apparently. It is the most Incredible. Incredible. It's the most beautiful. It is so terrific today. And years ago, when I thought about sitting and talking to myself, it's a little dog park. Again, I like to show you, but I don't want to invade people's privacy. But I used to think years ago, sitting in a park talking to yourself was demented. I would look demented. Well, everybody now is talking to their phones and looking equally as demented, so I fit in perfectly. I wanted to change the subject just a little bit. And by the way, this is Carla's day. But I'm not feeling at all happy with the degree of, I don't want to say retribution, the degree of prosecution, the degree of anything that is happening regarding the administration. Look, I love the president, but I think sometimes that Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, whatever he's doing, and Bobby Kennedy should worry less about having these meetings and actually start arresting people, putting people away, doing something other than to have these, and by the way, I keep saying by the way and by the by, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to change that, but I don't care about red dye number 3. I'm sorry, I know that's a big deal to you, Bobby, but I want to find out who killed your father, Thane Eugene Caesar, of course, who killed your uncle, who killed MLK. I want to hear the truth regarding Epstein. I want to find out specifically who he worked for, what intel country or agency he worked for. I also want to find out, I want somebody to tell me, yes, we looked at the autopsy, and it was homicide. It wasn't suicide. Before, I saw some beautiful, oh, you can see let me just show you this much. Let me see if I can give you a shot here. Where is this button? Here we go. Let me go. Watch this. Look at this. Look at this. Can you see this? Uh-oh. Maybe like this. Okay, there we go. There we go. Can we see this? Can you see I don't know if you can see the stripes. Can you see it's beauteous right there. There we go. Look at this hazy, this is pure geoengineering. Pure geoengineering. And then the event, which I say all the time. Rosanna Ravello says, thank you for all your content. Well, thank you. I enjoy doing it. And of course, why do we do it? Money. I'm kidding, of course. I am, and I'm not. I wish somebody would say to me, just produce content all day long. Don't worry about anything else. We will take care of you, and we will provide you with all of the independent wealth you need. I would do this. I would probably implant something in my neck so that I could just talk to you constantly. Before I get back to I don't know if I'm going to continue with this. I don't know if you want to hear this, but the WABC reunion has been a blast. Anthony Cumey and he's an institution in New York radio. You know that. O&A and I never knew how talented he was. It's almost like I never knew how talented Paul McCartney was until I heard Wings. I really thought it was a collaborative thing. But all these great people I'm meeting, everybody I worked with, all the board ops, all the engineers, everybody that we worked with. I did a gig the other day with former governor of New York, David Patterson. I'm with Curtis Sliwa. It's terrific. So last night, the wonderful Rita Cosby was off, so I did her 10 to midnight thing. Weekends, I'm doing now 2 to 5, and I've got to tell you something. It is so incredible. It is so great to be back with friends, to be back in that medium. But also to be in a medium, believe it or not, where there's not as much censorship as this. But yet I can't talk to them like I can with you. This is the best of both worlds. This is the best of both worlds. Let me see. Look at this. Wow, I am not shadow banned. Scabs. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm missing a lot of this. I apologize. I don't know what Doug is writing, which is so beautiful. I'm sure Doug wrote something terrific. Love those chemtrails. I mean, the geoengineering. I've been taking pictures of things like that. I've known this. Let me tell you a couple of things that are going on. And let me also repeatedly. Oh, there's a man in the truck. There's someone. This New York, for all of its, I don't want to show you. This man's got his privacy. But for all of the crap that we're used to with the bad government, the parks. I'm going to take you in the Hudson River next time. Mrs. Eldon and I are going to take you all along there. Take you to our frying pan, favorite place on West Side Highway, Chelsea Pier into the 20s. This is just beautiful. Come to New York. Today is, I am telling you, it is beyond beauteous. But back to what I was saying. I don't know what I was saying, but I'm going to pretend like I knew what I was saying. What we're doing right now cannot be replicated on AM or FM or any kind of radio. And what it's done, listen to this. The languages, you hear everything. Which goes to show you heterogeneity is the name of the game. I saw yesterday, I thought of you, Carla. Mrs. Ellen and I went to this local place and there was a Brazilian. Remember the joke years ago? What was it? George Bush came in. They said, Mr. President, 4 Brazilian soldiers were killed. He says, oh my God, that's awful. By the way, how many in a Brazilian? In any event, so talking to you like this is wonderful. I'm exceedingly, it's the dog park, I'm exceedingly kind of disappointed with the president. Nobody's being arrested. All right. I'm going to give him time. Oh, geoengineering, thank you. You know, for the longest time, people said, you're crazy. And I'm not crazy. Merely foolish, like they said on the Culhanes years ago. Remember on Hee-Haw? They're not crazy, merely foolish. So, I've been, after the geoengineering, I didn't know, Dane Wigington taught me that, who was simply the best. Dane Wigington at geoengineeringwatch.org. Let me interrupt myself again. Did you see my interview with Eric Thaddeus Walters, our friend Eric, part of the Conspiratorium? Did you see it yesterday? Unbelievable. The Sankt Gallen Mafia, the Unpope. This is conspiracy, as you would say, the likes of which I never even thought was possible. Make sure you see that. It's a classic. So, any event, we're seeing Mr. Wigington is making his, Dane Wigington is making his, excuse me, this gas is incredible. He's back, you're talking about that. We're also seeing more about 9/11. This guy, Benny Johnson, I think is a bit of a chigrulo, but nonetheless is tackling subjects that nobody ever talked about, Building 7 and other things as well. So is Tucker talking to Weldon, who I think is phenomenal. So what I'm trying to say, perhaps circuitously, ladies and gentlemen, and perhaps elliptically, ladies and gentlemen, I think what I'm trying to say is that we're making incredible inroads, tremendous progress in investigating things that for the longest time we wanted to talk about, but now we're doing it. They're talking about vaccines, we're talking about problems, side effects, myocarditis, everything that we had discussed. Oh, one more thing also. Please see, I did a video with an admitted sponsor, but a wonderful, wonderful dissertation on red light therapy. Absolutely fascinating. So I think I've covered every subject so far. in a completely unstitched sequencing, very difficult to understand, very hard to follow, very very circuitous, very desultory, very elliptical, which is the only way I like to do it. It's my nature, but you're used to it. Let me see, am I missing anything? I don't want to, let me see. Fred says he saw a building, he saw a movie or a documentary describing Building 7. Great interview with Thaddeus. What will come of this anti-Pope stuff? It's not really, you know what? That is a great, great question. We're going to be talking to him again. I'm going to get the great, our friend, I'm going to get Mr. Ortel back as well. I just thought I heard somebody. Brazilian restaurants are great. Oh, that they are. And one of the greatest things that Brazil gave us was the music. The bossa nova, samba, etc., etc. Been with you since the start. Thank you, Scabs. Freddie, you've been terrific. Let me see. Doug McCoy. David, thank you. I'm looking at this. Rossano Rovello. Come si sente così? Bello. Chi mi conta? Come finì? Allo finisce che fi. Okay. That's guttural Sicilian for you, ladies and gentlemen. And I think that's it. Let me see. In any event, I'm saying that again. I'm saying in any event far too much. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to get back. I'm going to do my thing. I'm enjoying the warmth of the sun, people out and about. Something so therapeutic. I love to hear. I'm going to do it next time. There's near a sounds strange. There's near a kids park. By the way, can you hear this? Can you hear this? Got the Cardi B glasses. I like people who are just completely unaware of the people who are observing their psychotic breakdown. Down the street we have a spice store, which is really unique. And also a veritable warren of coffee shops like you can't believe. Little Hell's Kitchen lore, by the way. First question, where is it? Sometimes you argue. In my humble opinion, it's between 34th and 59th, not 42nd. I think it's bigger than this, 34th to 59th. And from the river to maybe 8th Avenue, not really Broadway, 8th Avenue. And maybe to, I think, 59th. 60 if you're really pushing it. Where did the name come from? Supposedly or supposably, there was a story about a place that existed at the turn of the 20th century called Heil's Kitchen. Nah, that's not it. This is where the draft riots were during the Lincoln administration. A lot of The Godfather was here. Luca Brasi lived in Hell's Kitchen. A lot of people did. Alicia Keys is from Hell's Kitchen. Jimmy Cagney. But it's considered kind of the West Side. It was really rough, really, really tough. But the name supposedly originates from a police officer who was giving either a tour or explaining the environs to a rookie. And the police officer said, and I think we even have his name somewhere, but the police officer said, there's only one place hotter than hell, and that's Hell's Kitchen. So there you have it. That is the official story that we believe. I think it has a wonderful name. By the by, years ago, it was referred to as Clinton. So it's funny, you had Chelsea, which is in the 20s, and then Uptown became Clinton, which is Hell's Kitchen. So Chelsea Clinton. Do the math. Coincidence? I don't think so. I thought Clinton sounds stupid. It's Hell's Kitchen or the kitchen, period, end of discussion. It's the West Side, not Upper West Side. Upper West Side is really above 59th Street. That's to the left of Central Park. Upper East Side to the right, if you will. You see how I'm explaining to you this? See how wonderful this is? And if you like this, put in the comments below. Do you want me to take you on tours? I want to take you up and down the river. I want to take you and just show you some interesting places. One of the places I did it one time. Remember when Albert Anastasia was killed in the barber's chair in 1957 at Grasso's barbershop? I think Joey Gallo and a number came in, might have been Persico too, to shoot and dispatch Albert Anastasia. I'll take you there. I'll take you to some other places that are maybe not as famous, but I think they are. So my friends, let me just tell you, I want to thank you, and I hope I have not missed anybody. Carla, you have no idea how happy we are. Mrs. Zelda and I are so thrilled for you. Happy, 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 happy. Maybe we can do a little bit of a live feed. And let me also tell you something. Many of you are, as you know, this demented, completely detached from reality, but I don't mind. Because you're your family. We've been through this for years. Remember during COVID? Remember 2016? I lost a lot of people because I said, I don't think Trump's going to win in 2020 because of a lot of things. But we are so back. And by the way, let me remind you of something before we say goodbye. No matter what you think, or no matter what you feel, the president, there we go. No matter what you think about the president, there we go. Oh, there's a phone call coming in. I would take this president at his worst, whatever that is, for a moment of that prior horrible, horrible regime that we had to go through. I still sometimes can't believe that we made it through it. In any event, dear friends, thank you so much. Make sure I get out this time. Have a great and glorious day. We might do a live one later. We'll see. If not, this was terrific. I feel invigorated. I needed this. And I'm going to do more of these, whether you like it or not. So anyway, my friends, have a great and glorious day. And until we meet again, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da, da. And by the way, Carla, again, congratulations.